Hello, and today we have a lot to talk about for the December 2024 predictions. We have a lot going on, and the title is Never Before and Never Again. Because anything that touches Pluto right now, making aspects to it, because Pluto, it's the first time that it's been in 0 degrees Aquarius for 250 years or 48 years, 248 years. So we have a lot of firsts right now. So I have a new format that I'm going to show you so you could easily see it. Because if you want to learn astrology or you're new to astrology or you just want a little bit of an organized platform, let me know what you think in the comments below. So let's dive deep into this recording. The first thing is generally we have two new moons this month, right? We have the winter solstice. We have Mercury retrograde, like right now, because I'm doing this November 24th, right? So it's really in a stationing period, and that's the most potent part. But we also have Chiron and Neptune in the same degree in their sign for the whole month. Okay. And we have Jupiter retrograde and we have Neptune. Not only it's in the same degree, but it's going to shift gears from retrograde to direct, but it's stationing. So I'm using some astrology terms. And then also we have Mars going retrograde. And Mars doesn't like to go backwards or retrograde or go within. Okay, so let us look at the slide presentation to keep everyone on track. So right here, if you don't already know me, I'm Ev Zervadakis, astrologer and founder of Holistic Healing Astrology. So all month long, we have reflective thinking, healing, truth, drugs, God, insights. These are the themes, among more, but mainly these are the big themes. Because Chiron is in 19 degrees Aries, Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, and Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini. Neptune is at 27 degrees Pisces, going direct on the 8th of December. Next slide, we're going to see here on December 1st, we have two new moons. So I hope you like this. Make sure you tell me in the comments whether you like this format of these predictions, because I know people like to see, because everyone's learning astrology right now. So here we have it. The first new moon is on the 1st, and it's in Sagittarius right here. Okay. So the moon moves very quickly. And so it's about 10 degrees, but anything within 10 degrees of one another with the sun and the moon is considered conjunct. So it's conjunct here in Sagittarius. It's also conjunct the Mercury retrograde. So let's just pause here for a minute and talk about what does that mean? Well, first of all, it's a quick type energy. Remember, retrograde means that it's the direction is inward. It looks like it's an optical illusion. It looks like the planet is going backwards, but it isn't. It's called a retrograde. And another time, or you could search on my channel for retrograde explanation, and you could find the explanation of a retrograde. But right now, it's all about communication. So with Mercury retrograde, we always have a little bit of communication and network type issues, things going fuzzy, haywire, where it makes you stop. And you can't move forward. Emails get messed up. I already had some issues with my with my website and even with Google Business, it says I'm temporarily closed. So things like that, little annoyances. But your dog and cat don't die because of Mercury retrograde. That is a myth. If you want to know more about the Mercury retrograde and digging deep, you could check our newsletter, or you could check our blogs, excuse me, for more information. So here's your new moon in Sagittarius. It's a new beginning. So set your intentions on your truth, your philosophy, your values, your culture, your higher education, any kind of publishing, just putting it all out there, the big picture, okay, the world, that have an adventure, traveling, and athletics, having adventure, fun, being sociable. It's a fiery sign, so very friendly, but it also could have to do with law enforcement and legalities as well. All right. So with the new moon, go ahead and set those intentions. So we're in a season now of the truth coming out. And I'm sure you're all hearing it on social media, mass media. There's a shifting in gears because of Mercury retrograde too. And we're jumping ahead, but Mercury, and then the thinking planet, the sudden changes planet, the lightning bolt planet over here, Uranus and Taurus, are all our comfort and our insights are all changing too introspectively. It complements this Mercury retrograde because it has to do with higher level of thinking and shaking things up, revolutionary stuff. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then it opposes Jupiter. Well, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, which kind of echoes and the energies of Sagittarius, making things big, benevolent, joyful, the good luck and justice and truth. So in Gemini, it has to do with information. I think it's very interesting how all the truth is coming out about the news channels and how they've been prohibiting the news from coming out, kind of censoring the news, picking and choosing what goes on the news. But with social media, that's kind of changed everything. And that has to do with Pluto over here in Aquarius, okay? So it's also trining Mars. The moon and the sun is making a flowing energy to Mars. And Mars is going to be going retrograde. It's in Leo, has to do with children, creativity, love, romance, fun, playing, any kind of entertainment. All right. So there'll be a lot of action there, or it might have to do with the nasty stuff in the entertainment business. These are the keywords. You could figure it out. These actors and stuff, a lot of them are leaving the country. And that has to do with Sagittarius. Remember, I said travel? So, very interesting. Then we have, it's also trying the North Node. The North Node has to do with purpose. This is the chart for the whole world. And this is the purpose now. It's for us to wake up and to be enlightened and to do something about it. Then we have square Saturn. Saturn has to do with limitations, has to do with getting the job done, our goals and accomplishments. Also, it's in Pisces, but it has to do with, taking some action with how we think, what we talk about. Are we responsible with our language, our words? because you don't want to be spewing out negativity all the time, right? So the last one is a Quinta Chile, which is a 165-degree angle. And that means urgency or obsession with Uranus, which is that higher energy, higher level of thinking, downloads, aliens, anything kind of weird and crazy out there, especially with communication. So we will see what's going to happen, but they're already talking about the government knowing about UFOs. Hello, before everyone was afraid to talk about the UFOs because we were considered crazy. Another thing that's happening on December 1st is Black Moon Lilith in Libra. It's opposing, meaning opposite. It's a tug of war with our self-healing. So Black Moon Lilith has to do with the dark energies and dark emotions, anything like abuse, human trafficking, empowerment, um, the detached feminine nature, prostitution, anything like that, where there's no feelings. They just do things. Could be sinister, but it has a dark tone to it. But sometimes you got to get down and dirty, to help yourself. You just have to stop the abuse and say, I'm done with you, for your self healing. However, it works out for you, but this is for the whole world in general. Uh, the next thing is we have Black Moon Lilith squaring, meaning we have work to do with our money and love in Capricorn, taking care of the earth, our resources of the earth, and our accomplishments, and what we're going to do, even with corporations, you see? So it it has a dark tone to it because you know what? People are fed up with corporate greed, and that fits the angles here. These are corporations, big companies, and then we have money, love, resources, food. And if you heard the news, how much of our food has been contaminated? Millions of pounds of food is just, gone. I have a feeling they're going to feed it to the animals and it's going to give us a bigger problem. But that's a that's an intuitive prediction. But it's all coming to a head. And when I say that, it comes to the surface, just like a pimple, It's gross, but that's the way it is. Black Moon Lilith is also have a trine, which is a flowing nature to Jupiter, which is, you know what? It's for our better good. It's for the big picture, and it's for truth and justice. And the truth is in Gemini, which has to do with communication, teaching, learning. Even the schools are changing, and they're putting Bibles in the schools, and just a lot of moving parts right now. We're very lucky to be living in this time of great change, great velocity of acceleration, big time. And Black Moon Lilith is sextile to Mercury, which is retrograde right now. So that means there could be some dark thinking, dark energies, as far as information, more darkness. There will be opportunities to find out more. And then we have a quintile in Mars, and Mars is going retrograde. But this quintile, that means it's going to last longer because it's going to go forwards and backwards. And this quintile means it's a 72-degree angle, and that has to do with the hidden, divinely orchestrated energies. So we have these energies here that are divine, and it has to do with our actions. So we're being nudged from another realm, whatever that is, to take care and look at this Black Moon Lilith energy in relationships, because Black Moon Lilith is in the area of relationships, harmony, balance. And, that's also the negotiator and the balancing and putting other people first. You see? So this is part of the healing process because it's also, opposite Chiron. So if you have any questions, and I left this up here because this is the grid where I could see, oh, the sun is conjunct the moon. That by definition is a new moon. So we could look very quickly what the aspects are, what the relationships are with these planets, who's talking to who in the sky right now that's causing big influences to the whole world. And if you have any planets in these degrees that you see here, you're probably going to be impacted. Okay. So the next slide is, we talked about the all month long. Sorry, I jumped backwards. Now, on December 5th, we have Mercury retrograde, Cazimi. And that means, see how close they are, partile, Cazimi. They're all in the same degree and they're less than 20 minutes apart. Okay, right here, these are the minutes. So usually they say when the sun is close to another planet, it obliterates the energy, burns out the energy of the planet next to it. But it also could mean that it fires it up, the Mercury retrograde. And I believe it's fired up because I was born with a Mercury retrograde. I usually have no problems at all. But this one is giving me some grief. So, and it is opposing my natal sun. So that's another reason, but that's a forecast for me. So let's stop that. Also, this Mercury, I call it on steroids because it's much stronger than usual, especially on the 5th, because they're so close together. So pay attention and we'll all see together what happens December 5th. Now, can I predict like this is definitely going to happen? No, we don't know. But I'm just showing you, by definition, you see that there's 4 things going on with this Mercury retrograde in the sun. So that's 5 things altogether. You got the sun conjunct Mercury. You have opposing Jupiter, which means there's a tug of war between the truth and what's being said and how people think. And we see that a big revelation here. And then it's square Saturn. So we have our duty and a responsibility to do something about it. What can we do? Set our boundaries. How crazy are we going to get involved? Just be certain that you're not negative and overly negative thinking, because that's what it could mean. And this here is called a T-square. It just means that these planets are all buzzing around, working together and feeding off each other, making it a stronger energy. That's why I said Mercury retrograde is on steroids right now. And this trine, that flow of energy for that self-healing again. You see, that's why in the beginning I talked about the healing aspects of this month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop in a few minutes on the next slide, and then we will continue and finish slides 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, because our attention span is pretty minimal. So on December 7th and 8th, we have the Mars retrograde in Leo, and we could talk another 30 minutes about Mars retrograde, but this is action with play, entertainment, love, romance, having fun, humorous, but it's it's going inward. And it also could mean the entertainment business, the aggression of the entertainment business. But look how it's opposite right here, Pluto and Mercury, you see? And it's in 0 degrees. So this is a very, not Mercury, pardon me, Pluto and Venus. So there's going to be a lot of maybe aggression or anger or activity with our food, our money, for the world, technology, and major transformation. Maybe our whole entertainment business could be transforming. I think so. Well, a lot of the actors are moving out of the country because Trump got into office. And we'll see how that plays out. But that will change the industry. You see how that works out? And so we have Neptune going direct over here, which means now that the energy is moving outward. Before it was all internal, where we're reflective, but now this confusing, healing, godlike energy, very mystical energy, especially in Pisces, is gonna maybe put us in a fog. Let's see what happens. So if you have any planets that are in these degrees that I'm talking about, check it out. It's also trine the North Node, which is right over here. And that's over here. And sextile the South Node over here. See? And we have Neptune going direct, as we just talked about. So remember, this month is going to be crazy, and we'll do this December 12th, where Venus goes into Aquarius. Okay. So we will look at that next time. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please place them in the comments below. We have a lot to cover, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.